now call the Crosby Township Board of Trustees regular meeting to order for August 14th, 2023. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Lohman?
Here.
Mr. Hyab, I note, is not here.
Correct.
Mr. Heiss?
Here.
Approval of the minutes for the regular meeting from July 10th, 2023. There was a couple notes.
Yeah, on the last page.
On the last page, it just, on other concerns, you had Mr. Heiss will not be present. It's Mr. Hyab. And then for the next regular meeting, you have July 10th instead of August 14th.
No, it should be September 11th.
Or, no, it'd be August 14th.
Oh, okay, you're right. Got me confused.
Yeah, I was working off last month and just didn't correct that out. I will correct that and have it to you guys to sign at the end of the meeting.
On the third page, under zoning, you got Mr. Espo summarize his written report. Then you got also.
Yeah, I didn't intend to put anything behind there. I just left that on there. I'll delete that.
See, I don't know if you want to put the number of permit he has, and I think it was 9. So.
Well, I always tie his written report to the back of the minutes as well, which details those numbers. So I was just going to quit putting it on there.
Okay, so you want to make a motion to...
I make a motion with the correction to accept the July 10th minutes.
I'll second it. Roll call.
Mr. Lohman?
Yes.
Mr. Heiss?
Yes.
Approval to pay the bills as have been presented over the past month. I'll make the motion.
I second it.
Roll call.
Lohman?
Yes.
Heiss?
Yes.
Correspondence, me. Let's see. There was a Hamilton County Board of Health meeting today at 4 o'clock. Ohio Township Association has online training opportunities monthly. I did actually get an email last fall, I think. I was reached out to Tim Zellick from Hamilton County Parks. He's like the main planner. He was supposed to come to a meeting and he was sick, and then was going to come to the next meeting. We never heard from him. I tried to reach out and he never returned. And then all of a sudden I got an email, or maybe he called me. I think he actually called me like right after our last meeting and said he totally forgot about us. But then he said he's busy for the next 2 months and could maybe come in October or send a representative. And I said, well, whatever works better for you. You could maybe send a representative in September or whatever. And I haven't heard back from him again. So maybe we'll get somebody out here. That Hamilton County solid waste plan that we voted on we got a thing that it's in effect. Now they've passed it or whatever. The Fernald Preserve has ongoing programs, I believe, weekly. And our Congressman Warren Davidson was at Kramer's Beer House today from noon to 1. And that's all I have for now. Chuck?
That was today that Davidson was there? And that was Crimers?
Yeah, Miami Town.
The only other thing I have is the Ohio Township Association WIC Management Authority. Is the update. I got the summer of 2023. I guess they send it out quarterly. So
That's all you got? Okay,
yes.
thanks. Guest Sheriff Stuckey. Or Lieutenant, I'm sorry.
That's all right. For the month of July, Crosby Township had 133 calls. We had 5 criminal reports, 1 non-criminal report. Our detectives were assigned 1 case that was not closed. We only had 1 auto accident, and there was 1 DUI arrest in the township. And that's all I have for you. Anything else? Nope.
Did you want to mention this?
Oh, I'm going to be putting out a flyer or a brochure of burglary prevention and putting it out on the table and after the construction is done with the senior center. And if anybody needs one or I run out and everything, you can email me and I'll get one to you. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Anybody have anything? Public at large? Do you want to talk? Reports, legal, Alan?
No report.
Maintenance, Harry?
Yeah, the only thing I got is we got some bids on a truck. I gave them to you up there. These are all used trucks, not new one.
These are used trucks?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one is 2021.
Oh, okay. Do we want to act on that? So what, I guess I'll read, let me find them here.
So I know these, because this is, financial related.
Very much so.
Yeah. I happened to speak with Dennis. The only thing I will say about him and his opinion is he understood that there would be items that come up on the agenda related to truck, related to asphalt stuff later on. And that he understood that there might be action taken, whether it's taken or not.
Was money appropriated this year for a truck or?
Actually, now that I have the report finished and distributed, let me look at that.
I budgeted $80,000.
Well, in Harry's proposal, it was there, and I just got to look and see what we did. Yeah, so there is, there's not knowing what vehicles or combination of vehicles the trustees may end up doing. There is an appropriation for $120,000 currently for this year that hasn't been touched, and it's already specifically within the motor vehicle designation. So, yeah, the idea was it's appropriated, and then whether the trustees decide to take action on such an item, you would have the ability and the appropriation to do so.
So there's a 3,500 Chevy Silverado. That says it's a 2024, so is that new, I guess?
Yeah. Probably.
Okay. From Hurlinger, and it's listed for 86.9. Is that with everything on it, I guess?
That's what the,
And then Hague Ford currently has in stock a 2021 Ford F-350 XL. And that already has the everything. Now, does it have any rust issues or
there's
anything?
no snow blade or salt spreader.
Oh,
on
it
that.
doesn't?
No,
So we would have to get that?
yeah.
we can't use what we have, or,
Not really,
I don't know, I just,
yeah.
so how much more do you think that would be?
I'd say it'd be about 80,000 altogether too, right close to this bid.
But so that's, but that already has 37,000 miles on it?
Yeah.
And it's gonna cost 20 to get it to what we wanted?
Yeah, every bit of it, I think.
And that is a diesel.
Yeah.
You like gas better, right?
They have the gas, but it's up to
How many diesel you have now?
just one.
Get the one.
I mean, it's never given us any trouble.
What year's the truck that we have now?
It's about 16 years old right now.
Do you prefer one over the other? Or?
Well, that's always been our biggest thing, not having, couldn't take enough salt to do the job. We gotta run to Miami Town. The 450, we load that, and then we got two little pickup trucks. And the one, just one of them, you can put salt on that one, got a box for that one. It's just,
So which one of these helps, if any, with that issue? I mean, they both look like they're 1-ton trucks, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the hull is gonna be any different. But the one's already got 32,000 miles on it, and if it's gonna cost the same. You said the 86.9, that's with everything on it?
Yes. It's got a stainless steel box on it, plow.
Stainless steel spreader, 8.5-foot plow, LED lights.
Yeah, the plow is 20 right there. And that they have that in stock, or they would have to order
They
it?
got it in stock. It's there. They're putting the spreader and salt box on it now.
I don't know if it matters. I mean, if you're comparing vehicle for vehicle, the price on the new one is actually less than the price
Yeah.
of the used one. But I mean, you also, having recently bought a 1-ton truck myself, that diesel engine's about an $11,000 box to check. So, I think that's why your new one's less
Cheaper.
expensive than
It's
your
gas.
used one by a few $1,000s.
Well, he could get a price on a new one. I mean,
Does Mr. Marsh have an opinion on it? On between these two, or?
really say.
What do you think, Chuck?
Um, I would see what Harry recommended, what you think would be better for you, your department. So, probably 2024 is a brand new truck, and the other one is 2021, so that's 3 years old, whatever. So,
You might end up spending a lot more than, because it's 20 grand just for the snow
Yeah.
plow on that. So you might be going 95,000.
yeah, and the new one got warranty, right? I mean, and the used one, does it have any type of warranty? Probably not. Maybe 90 days, maybe something.
I know the
Say
one
it
I
on
paid
there.
for it doesn't have, it's just a truck. You know, one down at Hurlinger's they're getting a snow blade and a salt spreader put on it now. Over at Kaufenberger, as a matter of fact.
I can tell you, I don't know anything really about warranties when as it goes to vehicles that are
Commercial.
purchased for the purpose of
Yeah.
government use, you know, salt spreading and the like. What I did tell Dennis when I ran into him was that, you know, as it goes to this other truck that would in theory be replaced, this is not a trade-in type of situation. We have to go through the same process that we did, you know, like with the old fire truck and all that kind of stuff. It would be two separate transactions of a purchase and a sale.
Yeah, it says warranty information, but doesn't really say anything specifically to that. It just says with used that it's usually as is.
I would not anticipate much warranty coverage the second you take a load
A
full
brand
of
new
salt
one?
and throw it into the back of a truck, but that's just my assumption.
Let's say the dealer, wouldn't the Chevrolet, wouldn't they have a warranty?
Well, the other one's used, so I'm sure they probably don't.
Oh, this a used one too?
No, this is new.
Oh. I'm
It's
looking
the
at it.
2024 one.
Yeah.
It says here
Oh,
about,
okay,
it
I'm
says
reading
on
it.
new, or it says new would have a warranty. It says
Oh,
used or
okay.
used or as is.
I saw our vehicle. I can new.
I mean, I would probably recommend a new one because it's gonna end up being cheaper probably.
I could tell him to get prices on some new ones, but with everything on it, I don't know.
But this is new, right?
Yeah.
You mean from like,
Like, is that warranty? Is that so many miles and like 2 years or 3 years?
it doesn't say.
So
on
many
this.
months, or I'm not sure how the warranty goes with.
Harry, is this truck at is this new truck at Hurlinger, this Chevy? Is it a does this represent an actual truck that's in stock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is the old one like, it's not gonna make it, you think?
Well, my concern was if it broke down. Like I said, it's 16 years old. If that truck breaks down, we don't have no way to take care of the streets. We got two pickup trucks, and one's got a blade. They both got blades, but you only spread one with the box on it, and that don't last maybe a street to do that. To get it.
So then you would keep the old one?
Yeah.
You would use the old one, or use that, would you use the old one and keep the new one as a backup, or vice versa? Or?
Oh, either way, you could use the older one as a backup. By the time we get loaded, go to Miami, or use it, go back to Miami Town, come back, get another load, and it depends on how much snows.
Yeah, I guess if you got a light snow, you can use a pickup truck rather than the.
Yeah,
Dump
but it
truck.
wouldn't do all the streets, you'd be running back and forth, the pickup truck.
Right.
My question would be, if you want this truck to do the same job as what you currently have as a 450,
Yeah,
what kind of bed does that 450 have on it right now?
got a dump bed.
Okay, but this doesn't have a dump bed, does it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it does?
It's on there. Remember,
Oh,
that's one of the added
the dump
things.
body. I got you. Yeah, it's got that option on it. Does that have the same? Does that have the same like
Torque.
volume capacity in the bed?
That I don't know. Mike went down and got it, you know, checked it out.
Yeah, okay.
It should be.
I mean, because your maximum payload obviously is less
Yep.
than with the 450. Your 450 probably has
We can put a ton.
4
and a-
wheels in the back of it, doesn't it?
we can put a ton and a half on it,
Okay.
and that's stretching it.
The 450, you put a ton and a half on it?
When you go out, it's like,
So what your final thought, Harry?
He's only gonna be here for a week, so.
Well, why final?
You think you might want to get those questions answered about warranty? And
What's that?
you think you might want to get those questions answered about the warranty that comes with it? Because there might be warranties for the accessories too, according to this.
Well, there won't be any warranty with the used one, I'm sure.
I'm
But I mean, is it gonna,
understand that.
is it gonna matter though? Because if they're not gonna have a warranty on this, they're not gonna have one on any other new one.
What, this new one doesn't come with a warranty?
Well, we don't know.
Oh.
But I mean, if it doesn't, then the other new ones wouldn't either. If it's a commercial, it would be a standard with all their models probably. What do you think? I mean, I would think the new one would be better. That's,
Yeah, I
that
think,
price is what everything we need.
yeah, if we got the money in the budget,
Yeah, it's appropriated.
I appreciate it. Well, you got the money in the funds, so. So, if we have the
You wanna
money,
make a
then,
motion? You want me to?
well, we can make a motion.
Okay.
well, if you decide to go down, or get this one, I'll go down with him. He's sick right now,
Yeah.
and I'll look at it with him and see.
Yeah, I'll make a motion then with Harry's approval upon inspection to purchase the Silverado 2024 3500 from Hurlinger Motors for no more than $87,000.
I second it.
Roll call.
Just a second.
I'll ride down tomorrow and look at it, make sure.
Mr. Lohman,
Yes.
Mr. Heiss,
Yes.
Okay, we got anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, you hit your limit. Fire Chief Davis.
July run totals, we had 55 EMS details, 48 fire details, for a total of 103 details in July. Engine 28 had those repairs made to the fuel injectors in July during the preventative maintenance check. The headlights were replaced and the driver's seat air leak was also repaired. Trustee Hyab and I talked with Mr. Miller about what needs to be removed from Station 27. I will meet with Mike when he gets better. He and I will go down 27s and find out what size dumpster we need. Fill it up with what needs to come out of there, and we'll be done with that building. I do have a local business that would like to purchase the old Engine 27 from us. And I'll have more information on that in our September meeting when Trustee Hyab is here. We received a last check from the Hamilton County auction site for the items that were sold, and I turned that in to Brian, I believe.
Do you know how much it was altogether about?
This one was, I believe, under $50. It was slow pay for somebody who did not pay yet. What item it was, I don't remember. A local business owner stopped in to say that he would like to make a donation to the fire department. David Welsh with Welsh Development Company donated $10,000 to the fire department. I'd like to thank him and his company for the generous donation. I am currently working on a list of equipment and supplies that would benefit the department with that donation from Mr. Welsh. And I'll have those at the next Board of Trustees meeting. And that is all I have.
Anything else? All right, thanks. All right, Brenda, Community Coordinator.
All right. Well, I have to first say that we have some amazing seniors in our senior club who've been very flexible in our time of change and having the center shut down. They're just following all the things on our calendar so far, and that we've been all over, and I'm excited about that. They're having a good time. We had our meeting at the Fernald Center. We had a picnic lunch and a presentation that they gave us there. We've been out to the Harrison Library and we toured that, and then out for ice cream. And every one of us, including me, found out something new at the library that we didn't know. And we've, even with frequenting it. The one thing that we kind of amazed us is that they're now doing passports like the post office does, so you can make an appointment at the library, and it's an easy way to get a U.S. passport. So anyway, we did all that. Then we went to Whitewater Senior Center last Thursday, and we were welcomed with donuts and coffee and things like that in order to play our Wii bowling practice. And we probably had 20 or so people that showed up, and they were just very welcoming, and it was good to be there for that, because we're about to go back again tomorrow. We're going to call it game day, and everybody in our group is invited with indoor shuffleboard, pool tables, chair volleyball, audience, or whatever, and board games, and on and on. So we're going to spend a couple hours starting at noon tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have a good crowd for that. This Wednesday, we're going to be at the Red Squirrel Restaurant for dinner with friends at 5, and then on this Friday, we're going to do Wii bowling over at the Harrison Library meeting room. So we just keep hopping around, and they just have to follow their schedule. And the phone call system that we have to call and remind people is great, because I keep doing that ahead of the week's activities. Next week, we are planning to have an actual volleyball game against the Whitewater volleyball team, or versus, I should say. And then they're going to invite us there for refreshments and food after, and so that should be fun too. On Thursday, on the 24th, we're going to go to the park, the Miami Whitewater Great Parks Harbor, and we're going to play bingo outside at 9:30 in the morning, and tour the nature room and the gift shop. That Friday, we'll go back for Wii bowling again at the library, and then we have 2 trips going to Madison, Indiana, for that 75-mile boat trip. It's called Rock and Thunder. It's a river trip, and we filled one boat and one trip totally, and we had so many people that still wanted to do it that I put another date out working with the captain, and we completely filled that. So that's September 7th. So we filled 2 trips in a week apart, and we still have people on a waiting list. So that's pretty amazing. So they're doing great. They're hanging in. They're looking forward to their home again, but we're having fun going around and doing what we can. Other than that, general work. And that's my report.
Anything for Brenda? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fiscal Officer Matt.
In the fiscal officer report, there was an item when Brian was generating the bank reconciliation for last month that he found where Fifth Third Bank somehow, basically we got double charged for our payment to the Bureau of Workers' Compensation, the premium. So not sure why that happened. I'm sure it was something, electronic or something like that. But we just found out about that as we were doing the bank reconciliation and preparing for the report. So I'll be in contact with them about that, along with the old business fraudulent check issue that I still have to resolve. Brian put together some figures on different appropriations for upcoming capital expenses that we're either are going to do or are the trustees are looking at doing. I mentioned already that the money for a potential truck for the maintenance department is already appropriated, and so that's really nothing needs to be moved or nothing needs to be planned in the financial end on that. For the Fort Scott pavement replacement project, there was a variety of funds, you may recall, that were appropriated that had kind of piled up over years where we never really had a use for them, and they kept piling up. And these are from small but regular revenue streams that come from, especially from the state, different kind of license taxes and things like that. So we would most likely ultimately for the cost of that, we would be using a combination of funds from the gasoline tax fund, permissive motor vehicle license tax, and from the motor vehicle license tax, which it's complicated. It's two different funds, but those two are different from each other, to add up to the cost of that being paid for. Also, whatever the trustees end up doing relating to the community center parking lot, or really all of the different parking lots we have, those would come out of general fund. The trustees do that, we would have to do a supplemental appropriation from the general fund. So if the trustees were to take action on that item tonight, I would just need just a very brief recess so I could type out a resolution for that appropriation, or if that gets tabled for the next meeting, I could have one prepared for the next meeting as well. The money's there. We already had spent a decent amount of site improvement appropriations with various things related to community center building.
On the road funds, was there going to be ARP funds some used for that? I thought we were going to use leftover ARP funds for some of that.
Well, I don't know that the trustees have a definite final plan on how those ARP funds are going to be used. I actually was wondering the same thing myself. There is a decent amount of ARP funds that are left, and we haven't encumbered much of those funds, but
I thought Dennis had, after the shelter thing, because we wanted to use the rest of that for some of the road repairs, because you can use it for that, I know.
We certainly can. I mean, there.
And you have to spend.
I'm just
you have
reporting.
To spend it by so much time, or
there's a time, off the top of my head, I don't know what it is. I know that it's all appropriated for use, just because I mean it's there and it needs to be used. So, I mean, yeah, I would rather use it as soon as possible. I would love to have that out of my life.
Can you use that for parking lot or not?
I don't know. As I said here, I don't know. I could look into that. the purpose of this report is just for these capital items coming up, to inform the trustees that we certainly have the funds ready, available, in almost all of the cases, even appropriated for whatever the trustees decide to do. And I guess I'll just say, Mr. Carter has fallen ill. If anybody has any urgent financial related things where we're used to having the luxury of him being here nearly every morning, you guys have my number. Even if I'm in a courtroom or whatever, I'm text available. Text me anytime. And I think that's the extent of my report.
Anything from Matt? All right, thanks. Zoning, rec?
I had 8 permits issued last month, 1 monument sign, 3 accessory buildings, 1 driveway extension, 1 shelter building, 1 deck, and 1 commercial building. We're going to have a BZA meeting August 30th, 6:30 p.m. It concerns an oversized accessory structure.
What was it?
Residential
Oversized
property. I'm sorry?
Oversized what?
Oversized accessory structure on a residential property. Oh. We'll see. Also, I don't know if you received this in your mailboxes, but we've had a resignation from the BZA, and I have an individual who would like to be on the BZA. I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at that. And I'm looking for approval from the trustees so I can call the individual, let him know one way or the other.
What's his name?
His name is Ed Telsher.
Yeah.
And his work history, I have a resume here, but he worked at Neiman Plumbing for 40 years. 25 of those years as a supervisor in charge of 30 to 35 employees at any given time. So he's got a construction background, and as far as I'm concerned, he would be a decent fit for the BZA.
So I'll make a motion to hire Ed Telsher for BZA to fill a void, empty space.
TELSHER.
Here it is.
I second that.
Roll call.
Lohman,
Yes.
Heiss.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I'll let him know. Thank you.
Anything else for rec? All right. Old business. I don't have any. Chuck?
The only thing is about parking lot. I don't know if you want to say anything about that.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. That. Yeah, you can bring.
That was brought up last meeting.
You can bring it up.
So, yeah, I think there was some issue about the question about, I guess, what's that? Harry, we're gonna look into that. I can't remember why we postponed it from last meeting. Mike?
Is this for the resurfacing? Well, I don't think we were still waiting for at least another bid, I thought.
Yeah, I guess another bid.
Yeah, the way it was left was there was one bid brought into the last meeting, and the trustees asked Harry and Mike to seek out, find more bids, proposals for the project.
Yeah, the company gave two different bids, I guess.
What, for the bids for the blacktop?
Yeah.
Yeah, we waiting on Cincinnati. We got them all, we got 3 of them, and we're waiting on Cincinnati as they didn't put the walking trail in it and that, so he had, and the fire department, so he had to rebid it.
So he hasn't turned it in yet?
No, he's supposed to get it to us right away. We got bids from Bear and, what was the other one?
And what, is Cincinnati
Yeah.
paving company, or?
Yeah, he'll have them here at the next meeting.
I spoke to Mike in between meetings. It sounds like they came, actually physically walked the site, looked at everything, and it sounds like when they made a bid, there was a couple of individual pieces that, like Harry's saying, that they didn't include in there, so they kind of had to adjust or fix it. That was the issue there.
So I guess
But I know that there was also two possibilities on, are we patching and sealing, or are we milling and resurfacing?
But Cincinnati
Assuming I'm using those terms
Cincinnati
correctly.
Blacktop wants to mill it all. Come in and cut it, and just put a new layer on all of it. He said what we're gonna do patching it is just, so.
Well, we do have some time because this bid is good till November 1st.
Yeah.
So, which is somewhat unusual for,
We'll just wait since we're missing a bid.
yeah.
We'll table it.
So, I guess you'll wait till next meeting.
Do you have anything else?
No.
New business, I guess I'll bring up the renovate. We had a little, since our last meeting, well, we have a couple of things going on. Starting tomorrow, we're getting a new floor in here installed. So that's going to keep Brenda moving on other places for a while. And then the other thing is, since our last meeting, we had some, we'd had a new roof put on last year, but our, it's pretty much a flat roof, and some of our catch things for the downspouts, a couple of them were rotted out, which we didn't know about, and some leaks. So we had some major water damage in our wall, in some of our walls here. So that's one the other reason why no one's been in here for a while is we had to have a company come in. Was it Brock Restoration? Came in and tore the walls out, cleaned them up, and they've all been redone now. So they're in the process of painting and finishing up. So that's an update on that, and that's why we haven't had much access here since the last meeting. That's all I have. Chuck?
I don't have anything new except Jim Jackson. I guess he's cleaning this place up pretty good because this was a mess all over the desk and floor. So
Yeah,
otherwise,
things had to be moved a lot
yeah, some
from the
people off staff,
offices,
so.
and
So we thank Jim for getting everything back. So I'm sure he has Brenda supervising.
No, he's trying to do that on his own, actually.
Okay. Well, I'll give Jim a full credit then. That's all I have. So
Yeah, he has been working hard at it.
so those drain boxes I know at least 2 are getting replaced, and the other ones are getting, I guess they have to also be periodically re-caulked, which we didn't know because that caulking shrinks away from around the edges of them, and then water can also leak in around that, even if the boxes are still good. So I'm pretty sure I know 2 of them I think are getting totally replaced. And
last time I done it, maybe was repaired the building. I don't know how long ago that was. That's been a while. I don't know if anything done since that time. So
Been a while.
all right, That's all you had?
Yeah.
Any other concerns? Then our next regular business meeting will be September 11th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. Roll call,
Loman,
yes.
Heiss.
Yes.
7:46.